Good afternoon and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. How's that popped up on there? How's this popped up on there? Seems to be a chat popped up on a screen that I don't know where it's came from. We have a new chat screen. Interesting. Apologies, I'm just there's Gremlins in their system. Anyway, good afternoon, welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. I see that you're all having a little bit of a laugh in the chat. Um, Celtic in the last 24 hours or so have been mentioned with a few players. Some of those suggestions have been laughed off. Celtic in the last 20. Just double checking that. He's went for old man chic. Yeah, just giving it. Just giving it large. Anyway, Celtic in the last 24 hours have been linked with a player coming out of Ireland. We've all seen the headlines. It was a bit underwhelming, to say the least. A player that comes from Shamrock Rovers, youngster, meant to be the best prospect coming out of Ireland at the moment. A German team had made a bid. Understood that Celtic are also in the race and presented a bid in the last 24 hours for the 17-year-old striker. Now, here lies the issue. Why are Celtic getting into a bidding war with a player from a club that Dermot Desmond owns? And shouldn't Dermot Desmond and Celtic, or shouldn't Dermot Desmond be using that club as a feeder type club for Celtic, where we maybe buy up the best youngsters around Europe and ship them off to Ireland, get them all trained up to be better, and then they're just play some serious football rather than this B team nonsense. You would think it would be better for them to go through the League of Ireland. It has to be way better than where the B team are currently playing, and then move up to Celtic, obviously for a fee. But anyway, just saying good afternoon. I'm just checking out the chat. Sorry. And a Celtic team will be announced in around about 15, maybe about 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Oh, I just noticed that there is a screen that I need to change. Why does that have that? That's because put it on that screen. Put it back to that screen. There we go. Why did it change screens? No idea. But anyway, Auchinleck versus Celtic Football Club. I've been doing a watch along this afternoon. Did I use that? Your nonsense. It's all kicking off today. It's all kicking off. Just checking the Aberdeen score. Aberdeen are currently playing Raith Rovers, and it's 74 minutes into that match, and Raith Rovers are still getting beat 1-0. It is 1-0 to Aberdeen. Aberdeen scored in the 9th minute. 9 minutes into the game, and they haven't scored since. There we go. It is 1-0 to Aberdeen. Just going to say good afternoon to everyone in the chat. Michelle, CFC, Niall, Jerry, Desmond, just all the usual reprobates, really. Bologna lost 2-1. Did they? I'm sick of the penny pinching and board. Disgusts me. I'm raging, says Dave Morton. Why is the chat so small for that? I need to. That's what's wrong. It's the chat smaller, isn't it? Get rid of that screen. So just doing some housework. I had to restart the computer before. There we go. I'll just get to the forward of the chat. Um, yeah, everyone's not sure. We'll wait and see what the lineup's going to be. We'll wait and see before we make any decisions about how many goals Celtic could potentially score this afternoon. What about Wilson from Falkirk? Because the winger who made KT look like he was stuck in the mud. That's a fair shout, mate. Um, Good morning from New York City. Talking about New York, where's our resident New Yorker? Well, it's more from New Jersey, isn't he? I've seen him for a while. I need to message him. I would take Rafael Shadid over Kenny at this point. Hi, everyone listening in the car. I'm doing good, mate. 6-0. 6-0. That's a big score line. Do we really think that Celtic are going to score 6 goals? You would kind of hope so. I mean, because when you look at some of the scorelines yesterday, I mean, we are the big team. We are meant to be the top team in Scotland. Well, we were the top team in Scotland. You're welcome, committee. Definitely that. I'm not confident about this afternoon. Potential banana skin. Oh, don't say that, because personally, I was thinking that last night. I was like, oh, it's going to be one of those days. I don't think it will be, but you never know in football. Celtic would need to play really bad, and Auchinleck Talbot, if they do win it, it's fair play to them. But we've not got, the only good thing that we've got is we don't have 6 or 7 youngsters that we could put into the team. But did you say you reckon Balak Wisha up front? Aye, yes, I think he may be up front at some point today. 4-0, says Sean. The draw's on tonight. We will be going live after the game tonight. It's all set up. And we will be doing the Scottish Cup 5th round draw live, even if Celtic aren't in it. But I'm sure we will be. Either our board are completely incompetent or they're Huns. I think I'd go down the incompetent route. And yes, the draw is on tonight. The draw is expected to be around about 7:30 Celtic Park time. So make sure that you join into the channel for that. Even if you're driving home after the game, if you're on your bus, just jump on your phone and it can't happen surrounded by Rangers fans. Big Trusty better know. Yeah, getting back to Martin O'Neill, he doesn't have the opportunity to bring in 5 or 6 youngsters into the Celtic team, which would make it a potential banana skin slip up thing. You know, it should be a pretty experienced team that goes into today's game. It would be the most Celtic thing ever to sign Larsson, only to have him injured in his first appearance the day after we sell Maida. I watched an interview. I watched one of the interviews with Henrik Larsson that he did with Roy Keane and such like, and it was an interesting one. He was talking about the whole day when he hit the ball to Chick Charnley, and you know, could you imagine modern social media when Henrik Larsson hits the ball to Chick Charnley for Hibs and he just takes the ball and boom, scores? Could just imagine that if we had social media in today's form. God, he would have been chased out the door, wouldn't he? He would have been absolutely chased out the door. But as how we doing for sign-ins? We're not. Simple as that. Simple answer. Celtic don't even know what they're doing for sign-ins. That's the stark reality of the idea. Where are Auchinleck based? Oh, in the dark depths of the west coast of Scotland. The dark depths of the west coast of Scotland. And that's why they're playing at Kilmarnock. They're around about Cumnock area and places like that. I call it Masonic country. It's Masonic territory. It's Ayrshire. But anyway, we digress. Let me just jump onto Celtic social feeds just to see if they've put anything up. Other than a little picture of Kilmarnock's ground. The good thing about it being a late game today is that I saw a lot of the buses leaving earlier, and Auchinleck, see Google Maps. I did see a lot of the buses leaving early, so they would have got a good schwally. And the good thing about it is Kilmarnock's just up the road for all the Irish buses that were going over. Korean FC approached. We're signing. Holy, oh my God! Breaking news, Celtic fans. This is breaking news. Korean FC have been approached and we're signing. Holy fuck! Holy fuck is coming to Celtic. Would be as well. Balikwisha hat-trick today. I would take Balikwisha. Remember the last time that we played a game in the Scottish Cup like this? I'm sure it was a Scot. No, it wasn't. It was a friendly in Ireland, wasn't it? And Louis Palma scored the hat-trick that day. Yeah, the great Louis Palma scored the hat-trick and he was getting it like fucking on his Instagram. But anyway, there's a lot of work going on in the background. Yes, that's the new name for the club. There's a lot of work going on in the background. FC. They're for Orange County. Yeah, it is a bit like Orange County over there. The board will be praying Bally has a good game. Yeah, if he plays up front, then they'll not spend on a striker. I think that they will spend on a striker, but I get what you're saying. It's not the case that they don't want to spend on a striker. It's coming across that they have the inability to convince a striker to come to Celtic. I'm going to turn the volume up so I could just hear myself just a little bit better. So it is all about. They filmed the first season of The Walking Dead in Auchinleck. Is that when Rangers returned in 2012? But anyway, remember that we are down to watch long and we will be live for the cup draw straight after the game. The cup draw is going to be around about 7:30. Sorry, 7:30. It's 5:30 kickoff, isn't it? And 7:30 tonight. Should get the team in around about 2 minutes. Palmer would be brilliant under a Neil. In Auchinleck, they're 50-50 Celtic Rangers. Well, that'll be a laugh tonight. Anyone know where this mysterious... What? I think it's to do with the wages. I think they have a wage structure. They're not going to go over it for a striker. The wage structure has to be around about... I mean, if you're wanting to bring in a top-class striker, we must be looking at least 40 grand a week, 37 grand a week. I mean, you want to bring someone in that's 30 grand a week and upwards, surely, because if you don't, I mean, is he really going to be a player that's improving? I don't think it is to do with that. I think it's just the inability of the people involved in the recruitment department, i.e. transfer negotiations, their inability to get players signed up and deal with. I mean, imagine going to Leeds. That's how crazy it is. Imagine going with a begging bowl to Leeds and say, "Can we have one of your players, please, sir?" And Leeds are going to go, "Are you fucking having a laugh?" There's more chance of us loaning a player to Rangers than you lot. Get it? Yeah, we have to put bids in for Shamrock Rovers players, and it's just a complete bonkers. The team is out. Oh my God, what has happened? Celtic fans, wait till you see this. Oh my days. Balikwisha is playing today. Let me just get the subs in. Oh man, I cannot take this. Shock horror. Where's the ad? One of them. Wait until you see this team. My God, what has he done? Sinisalo, Ralston, Murray, Welsh, Donovan at the back, McGregor, Bernardo, McCowan, Forrest, Balak, Wisher, Johnny Kenny starts up front. Schmeichel is on the bench. Scales is on the bench. Benji Negron's on the bench. Yang's on the bench. Shinya Mada's on the bench. Tenecti's on the bench. Maeda's on the bench. Hitati's on the bench. And young Haney makes the bench. Also, one of the young boys. Hurrah! One of the young boys have made the bench. God, that's shock horror. Right, now that you... well, at least the manager has reverted to bringing in Sinisalo, give him some game time. You should always be given, like it's a cup game. We should always be making changes like this for the cup, and especially when it's against lower league opposition. There's no point in trying to. There's no need to put your first team under the pressure of playing in this game with that plastic pitch this afternoon. So it's a massive change for Celtic. I'm just going to just do one thing. I'm going to do. Should have done that earlier. There we go. Celtic have even got it up on Facebook already. There we go. What the hell? There we go. That's me just done that. That'll do. It keeps everything in order. I can see it going horribly, horribly wrong. And a Picalmac on the bench. Decent team says Nos Celtic. Bollock Washer will stink the place out today. Absolutely a waste of millions. Well, he's if he doesn't do it today, and he doesn't do it to a good standard, no shock or horror, Baz. Nah, it's not really, is it? Julian should be playing, surely. Does he really need to play him? I think that you know what you get from him. It is all about Ralston, Murray. I did say that he would go with Murray and Welsh at the back. I thought that the players they've got to prove themselves. Welsh has nothing to prove, if you ask me. He's went to Motherwell, he's done it, and he seems to be getting on just fine. I think bringing Welsh back was purely about one thing, and just giving Scales and he's not on the bench. Trusty's not on the bench. That'll set rumours flying. But Trusty's not on the bench purely for just to give him a rest this weekend. That's what I would say. We better not end up losing this. Jesus, my fear just got worse. It's a plastic Hollywood pitch, yeah, is that? Trusty's not injured. I just think that with the changes that have been made, we only ever have one. Usually, you have on the bench, you have one player for every position. So you have a centre back, you have your two wing backs, you have two wide players, a midfielder, and a forward. And that's exactly what we've got on. I'm not sure what position young Haney plays for Celtic, but it's good to see that one of the youngsters is getting a shout. Let me just see what some of the comments are saying online. That back four gives me the fear. Keep Sinisalo as first choice keeper. Come on, the hoops. We're playing a junior team. If this team can't beat a junior team, we shouldn't be a team. Exactly. That lineup gives me the fear. Thankfully, it's not a tough match. Oh, that's the worst thing to say. I'm not reading any more of that. Leave the page. I think Celtic will get desperate. They will overpay for a striker by the end of this window. A bit like what we did for Adam Ida. In the summer transfer window, we paid way over the odds for Adam Ida. I wonder if I can do. Can I share the live? Can't do it from this page. Just check. It doesn't matter. not really needed. But anyway, tell me your thoughts on the team now. Now that you've seen the changes in the team, give me your score predictions. Glad Casper's not chaos. Would be interesting to see him. It must be good enough. It must be one of the younger ones that's coming through that must be on the verge. More than 12 million worth of players on that park. We should win this easily. Yep, there is that. I mean, if you look at it, Bernardo's potentially a £6 million player. McCowan cost 1 million. Balak Wisher cost, what was it, 5 million. Johnny Kenny, 600 grand. Be interesting to see what we value Welsh at. Ralston. What that team does say to you is this is how a Celtic team should be setting up. It should be the majority of players that have came through the system. Now, anyone at Celtic, and any player, any 17-year-old that may be on the view to being bought by Celtic, any manager, and this is Brendan Rodgers let us down. Any manager should be playing the young boys just like this here that have came through the system at Celtic in cup games, in the early rounds of cup games. When it gets to the later rounds, you maybe say it's getting a little bit harder. We'll start bringing in a little bit of experience, but you want to give in the cup games. You want to give the squad players, the players that have came through the academy. That's their time to shine. Do you know, it's their time. This is your step into the first team. We know it's not SPFL standard. We know that it's going to be a bit of a fight on our hand, but it should be quite easy for Celtic. With that being said, there's a couple of 5-0s coming in. Could be 4-4-2. I don't think it'll be 4-4-2. I think that they will stick with the 4-3-3. Because you'll have the back four of Ralston, Murray, Welsh, Donovan, the midfield, McGregor, Bernardo, McCowan, and then Forrest on one side, Balak Wisher on the other, and Johnny Kenny on the other side. That should be a strong enough team to put at least 4 goals. I mean, the team's got at least four goals in it easily. And there it's there. Connor coming in from Canada. Come on, the hoops. No mercy. There we go. No mercy for the team this afternoon. Be interesting to see how they set up and they play the game this afternoon. There's more chance of them being used to. Well, they'll not play. Listen, they're a lower league team. They'll be looking at the plastic pitch. Could be a leveller. Could be a bit of a leveller because they're used to playing on pitches that are, let's face it, not the best pitches, but it's grass pitches. You know what I mean? They'll not be used to the speed of the ball. So that it could be a bit of a leveller for both teams this afternoon because Celtic are woeful on the plastic pitch. Maybe that was the whole reason for them to get the plastic pitch on the go. Strong midfield, them two up front. 3-0 Celtic. Extra time or penalties? Don't say that. 3-1 Celtic. I'm going to go for sketchy 2-1 Celtic, 6-1 Celtic, 7-0. Says Typhoon McFlustery. Jeez. Really, mate? Round to Celtic Park if we win. Do you think there'll be a big hurrah outside Celtic Park? Doubt it. 6-0 coming out of Oslo. 8-0 says Paradise Found. Jeez. 7-0 says Anton Rogan's left foot. 1-1 Celtic to win on penalties. Not a chance. Pope says 4-0. Celtic should definitely be good enough to win. They should that. 3-0 the Hoops. I have no fear in this game. Changes should have no impact on the result. Should be at least 6 or 7. Yeah, Paul Baird. It's you know, these players, James Forrest and such like. I mean, Balak Wisher has been put on there to prove a point and prove Rangers fan laughing at us already, our lineup, after they put out the same team that they would like to put up against us. Well, there we go. It says more about them. Shows that we do have a bit of depth in the squad. And if what Martin O'Neill will be doing, Martin O'Neill will be trying all that he can to motivate these players and tell them they're good enough. You know, trying to convince these players that you guys are good enough to go in and win this trophy. You know, don't listen to the outside noise. And we're going to change the team around. All the boys that are coming in think that they should all be first team players. Every single one of those players think that they should be first team players. All the way from Sinisalo, Ralston, Murray, Welsh, to Donovan, they all think that they should be in a first team starter. McGregor, Bernardo, McCown, well, they all think that they should be starting every game. It's an interesting one for Bernardo. He's going to have to up sticks today. And then you look at Forrest, Balak Wisha, and Johnny Kenny. Do you know, it's pretty much, it's a first team. It might not be a good first team in the SPFL, but when it comes to this level, in the Cup, 5th round of the Cup, I've said it. I said it before the season started. We should, in both cups, you should be playing Sinisalo on goals, and you should be playing a lot of the boys that do not get a game in, week out. So it prepares them to show that they're good enough, get good results in the Cup, gets them champing on the manager's door, and gets the manager making decisions. Ultimately, it gives the manager something to think about. If Balak Wisher scores a hat-trick today, people will say, it's just Auchinleck Talbot. The boy's pish, man. Come on. These players are in a no-win scenario today because they could go out and win 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7, 8, 9-0. Do you know? It doesn't matter. It's only Auchinleck Talbot. No respect for the fans would be given to the players that, you know, you've still got to play the players that are on the pitch for that day. It's still 11 against 11. Doesn't matter the level that they're at. You know, Celtic have still got to go out and do the business ultimately. But with that being said, will it upset the mojo of the team? It shouldn't do, because these players play the system. You know, they play inside, they play the same way week in, week out. What you tend to find happens in the SPFL is that the team that starts the game maybe doesn't have the fluency or fluidity of the passage of play. It slows things down a bit. It doesn't get up to speed. The only good thing about the bench, that if we do need to bring someone on, you're going to bring Shin Yamada on. If it's really bad, you're going to bring Hitati on. But to me, the substitutions will be interesting today. If we go 3 or 4 up, do you need to make the changes? Do we just let these players see the game out ultimately? Or do you bring in Shin Yamada? Do you bring on young Haney? Do you know, Tenecti, you could leave him for the Europa game. I think it's a brave move by Martin. Well, it's not really a brave move. It's a sensible move. It's a sensible manager move. One defender on the bench. There's always only one defender on the bench. And, well, there's not. There's usually 2 or 3, isn't there? But I think that if we do get injured, we'll go to a 3 at the back. I mean, do we really need to be playing a flat back 4 against Auchinleck Talbot? Come on. The boys are all brickies and forklift drivers on building sites, man. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's why they've got Ralston on. I'll show you who's the true bricky, and going right through them. But anyway, we'll wait and see. Calmac should have been rested. Well, I think that Calmac, your captain doesn't. If there's someone good enough to take Calmac's place that can still motivate this team, you still want the players thinking. I think it would have had an adverse effect if you took Callum McGregor at the team. I'm going to be perfectly honest, because you'll have players that will play in the game, and if Calmac's not in the middle, calling the shots the way that he does, the players will think it's a B team game. They'll not think it's a first team game. They'll think it's just, you know, it won't have the same pressure if your captain's there. If the club captain's playing in this game, he doesn't have to play the full 90 minutes, Calmac. But if your club captain's playing from the start, every other player that doesn't get a game week in, week out is all of a sudden thinking, right, do you know, I've got to show my all. I've got to show my all today. Got to make sure. Realistic score should be 5 or 6 for Celtic. With respects, there's no physicality in the middle of that team. Will you need a big physicality against a team of this calibre? Maybe not. Maybe not. Does Murray not have an issue playing on the plastic pitch? How do you know? I'm confident going Martin O'Neill. Ralston thinks he's a plastering walls when he's defending it. He does that, doesn't he? But anyway, right. Let's get some more of your potential score lines up on the screen this afternoon. Let me see what some of the media are saying about all the changes. Confirmed, all changed Celtic team. Celtic starting 11. Shake things up for Martin O'Neill. That's no big deal. I mean, the Celtic site does report on it, saying the following. Uh, Starting 11 to face Auchinleck Talbot this afternoon. Just wait till I have a wee beer, a wee drum beer, a wee. That's before the game. 7-0 Celtic. Celtic kick off the Scottish Cup campaign this afternoon, Sunday, with a trip to Rugby Park, and it will be Auchinleck Talbot who will host the Hoops. The junior side have had to move their tier from Beechwood Park ground. It will be the first ever competitive meeting between the sides. Martin O'Neill side is much changed from the one that beat Falkirk 1-0 in midweek, with only Cal McGregor in the starting game. Mikael Ange Balak-Wisha makes his first appearance since returning from the African Cup of Nations. Stephen Welsh also gets a starting place, recalled from his loan spell with Motherwell, and 6 youth academy graduates in the starting 11. Come on, Celtic. I don't. After me reading that, after me saying that, they've put out that this afternoon. I've had 12 beers already. Go for it, man. And Celtic are going down the road that there is one of 6 youth academy graduates in the starting 11. We play youngsters FC. This is Celtic trying to show that there is a change of direction going on at the club, and that youth will be given a chance. And fair play to them. We have to do it. You have to come out with that kind of statement. One of 6 academy players in the starting 11. You've got Ralston, Welsh, Murray, Donovan, McGregor, Forrest, and young Haney that have all came through the system. It's the things that should be kind of spoken about, but come on. None of them are, well, apart from McGregor. I mean, he's had a fantastic career. James Forrest, club legend. I mean, apart from those two, I mean, they came through the academy a long time ago. We all know the state of the academy. We all know the fact that the academy does not have the players to compete, and make massive inroads. But it is good. It is good that we've got at least one that can potentially make some inroads. And it all depends. I hope Martin O'Neill gives them time this afternoon. If we hit 3-0 up and put young Haney on, see what he can do. And people will say, but it's Auchinleck Talbot. These are the games that you should be bringing the academy players onto. But wait a minute. Celtic girl on your roast is beating my 2 Scottish pies. Who's eating a roast? Jesus. 4-0, and then we'll take the foot off the pedal. Always happens. But is Trusty all right? Says Darren Sloan. I think that Trusty will just be getting rested, as is all the other players. I think they'll just be getting rested for the game on Thursday. Let's not kid ourselves. Baz Auchinleck are a game of the lifetime, so they'll come out blazing all guns. Yeah, of course they will. Just the same way that Clyde did all those years ago. Roy Keane comes to Celtic, and his first game at Celtic will get beat by Clyde. It's the romance of the cup, as they call it. It is the romance of the cup. What time does it start on Premier? I'll close that screen down. Can't do it. Aberdeen is full time in the Aberdeen game. They have won the game 1-0 against Rafe Rovers. I wonder how many fans were at that game today. We can listen now.
On a worldwide stream. For listeners in the UK trying to access weekend sport coverage, please go to bbc.co.uk/sportscotland.
Shut up. Right, let's jump into the land of the Twitterati and see what people are saying about that online. Dear me, Ay, ay, ay. Let's just say that people are none too impressed on the land of Twitter. They never are on Twitter. I don't know why I go into it. It's the most negative platform in the world. So if Kenny doesn't score today, he will struggle. Yes, he will. Do we not have a young left back rather than play Donovan on the wrong side? No, pretty much no, because the B team's been decimated, absolutely decimated. I'm surprised that we've actually got one youngster that has the potential ability to step up to the squad. First goal for Talbot, Welsh. Oh, don't say that. If Kenny does not score against the pub team, please sell him in the window. I wonder what will be more interesting is does this Auchinleck Talbot team play the low block? Are they going to go to 5-6 at the back? Don't know. They will not do that in the normal game. I wouldn't think. I don't. There's no many. There's no many of these lower tier teams play the low block, do they? There we go. Shankland and Devlin out of next week's game. That's even better news. Thank you for the super chat, Connor. Let's just hope that they don't bring someone in from the B team. Oh my God, I'd never live that up. McGregor can't be a starter next season. He's finished, says Greenford Go. You still trying to get Kyogo Furuhashi back to the club, mate? What's that? It was Aberdeen will be selling toasters shortly. Was it? Did they play their main team against highest wage bill ever, poorest squad? Yeah, it is. Sadly, it really is. They come out attacking Auchinleck Talbot. Of course they will. Any team down at the bottom end of football aren't going to play a 5 at the back, are we? Do we not have the B team under it? Yeah, we do. But the majority of the under 18 team were promoted into the B team. I think there was about 7 players, and they're not even, they're 16-year-olds. The B team was infiltrated, but it was decimated last summer. Absolutely decimated last summer. And I mean, when you go and look at the B team, there's no names that stand out. Teams. B team. Right, let's get the B team on the screen just to show you all exactly the crazy Celtic setup. So we've got 3 goalkeepers in the youth setup. We do have 3 goalkeepers, and then Kyle Andrew, Finlay Hale, Joe I mean, they're just all young kids, man. Jude Bonner, still he's not in that Celtic, is he? Sean McCardle, Francis Turley. I mean, it's just it's a very, very young team. Who's the boy? Henley. That's interesting. There's obviously a number of the youngsters are registered as first team players, but you just don't get anywhere near it. I mean, I've never watched any B team stuff for a long time, but it is a very, very young Celtic B team. It's not exactly players that are champing on the door. B team is a failure because the board have regressed our position of strength. The Celtic problems are systematically born from the stale old men that haven't moved with the times. I better get that one back on. That one, there we go. And then just get that comment back up there. That's a scathing attack on the board. Absolutely scathing attack on the board by Sarah. Hopefully not an Aberdeen. When Aberdeen got beat by Darvel. And Liam Scales. Liam Scales was in that team. Liam Scales was in that Aberdeen team that got beat. Just saying. But Liam Scales isn't playing today. Liam Scales is on the bench. But Dane Murray. Let's talk about Dane Murray. Dane Murray does have Champions League experience. It might not be the best experience that he had in the Champions League, but he does have a little bit of Champions League experience with Celtic. Colby Donovan has had European experience as well. Stephen Welsh has had European experience. Tony Ralston has had European experience. Callum McGregor, European experience. Paolo Bernardo, European experience. It's an experienced team that we've put out there. It's not a B team. You know, I mean, Celtic, the Celtic website saying that, it's 6 academy players that are in the team. Fuck off, Celtic. That's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I mean, these players came through the B team. I mean, Donovan, I think he's been out on loan. Murray's never been in the B team for 2-3 seasons at least. But anyway, Celtic could spin it all the way that you want. John Shirley's in the house. Afternoon, John. Let's say the ageism. Can we not get a couple for the girls team on loan? They'll probably do a better job. But then again, the girls team managers just left because of the inability of Celtic Football Club to invest in the team. So she decided that she has taken Celtic far enough. She can't take them any further forward. And then we're going to get some geezer in for the team. And I think that Celtic, what Elena did for the Celtic women's team should never be underestimated. Should never be underestimated. She was a fantastic and is a fantastic manager. And it's just a shame that we don't back them the way that we fully should. But we don't back the first team at Celtic. Nobody on here would say anything negative about the boards. That would be bullying in their eyes. This is true. This is true. Bring back the reserve league. Enough said. We don't even have the squad for a reserve league. That would mean increasing the size of the squad. And the B team players, a lot of them would still be playing under 18 football. They wouldn't get into the B team squads because they're that young. That's the realisation. What team does anyone expect? But Baz, do you think Martin O'Neill was watching the Motherwell guy? Yes, that's the only reason that they would have been at the game yesterday. There's no other reason we don't play Motherwell anytime soon, so there was no other reason for Martin O'Neill and Fozzie to be there. And like Martin O'Neill said, we're going to have to go and watch players. You know, the players that has been offered to us by the people that were at the club in charge of transfer potentials. They were terrible. I'd like to know. I wonder if Martin O'Neill won't do it, but I wonder who the players were that Martin O'Neill went. I think it would have been more Fozzie. I could see it. I mean, maybe not Martin O'Neill saying no, but Martin O'Neill going to Fozzie and Maloney. What do you think of these players? And Fozzie going fucking mental, absolute mental. Fozzie sits at the Motherwell game like he's Martin O'Neill's bouncer, isn't he? Nobody's messing with Martin O'Neill. Fucking talk to him. Fucking talk to Martin O'Neill, right? Fucking, you're fucking get it, you fuck off. Could you imagine going, Martin, can I get you fuck off? You fucking come near him. Fucking right then, Fozzie. Absolutely brilliant. I want at least 5 goals from us tonight. Baz says Jed Johnston. Thank you for the super chat, mate. Remember, we're doing a watch along tonight, and we will be live after the game also for the live draw. The live draw. I'll put that live. Fozzie the bouncer. I'm away to Mark if you'll give us a trial. Magnus is away to ask Martin O'Neill if he'll give him a trial. I think that Martin O'Neill would come back rather quick, and you'd be lucky to get past Fozzie, to be honest. I think that as soon as you approached Martin O'Neill, Fozzie would just be like, he would just stare at you, and that would be it. Murray has an own goal in him. Well, so does Liam Scales. So does Welsh. Has Tony Ralston scored an own goal? In fact, has Tony Ralston scored since that late goal up at Ross County? There's one. Tell me in the chat. When was has Tony Ralston scored since that late winner against Ross County? I don't think he has he? Sign the Talbot strikers. Well, right now, just sign them before the game starts. How much do you think needs to be spent by the board? The way that Celtic are financing the club and the way that the Celtic team is looking at the moment, I don't think that there can be a monetary value put onto what needs spent, because what we need is quality players in numerous positions. And you see with Danny Engels, you can go out and spend £11 million, but you're not getting what you would class as an £11 million player. That's spending £11 million on Arnie Engels is saying that he was better than Neil Lennon, he was better than John Hartson, he was better than Chris Sutton, he was better than Henrik Larsson. And this is the way that Celtic fans think, and this is the way that football fans think. They just look at the price tag and they go, Jesus, there's no way he's better than them. So if Celtic were to go out and find 5 Matt O'Reillys at 1.5 million each and pull them out of obscurity because they knew there was a contract situation, people would complain that they're only spending 1.5 million. But then 6 months down the line, a year down the line, you've got a team of players that are potentially worth, say, 10 to 15 million each. It's finding those players, and we don't have the ability at the moment to find those players. That's the disappointing thing. And Tisdale came in and completely shook up and ruined the recruitment process that we seem to have at Celtic. Keep up the good work, Baz, says the Highlander 67. Thank you for that, mate. As I jump back into the comments, there's 818 comments already. Do we sign the striker from Auchinleck Talbot if they score today? And then do we loan Johnny Kenny to Auchinleck Talbot? Kenny couldn't hit a coo's arse with a banjo. Why are you trying to hit a cow's arse with a wee guitar? Are you a dwarf? That's why I've got a banjo. Just silly season, isn't it? It is silly season. We need a defender. Yes, we do that. Can you imagine McGregor pulls up with a season-long injury playing in this public team? Mental decision. Mental decision. Mental. I don't think it's a mental. I said it before. You maybe missed it at the beginning of the video. The reason that you play Callum McGregor today is so that when the team crossed the line, the team crossed the pitch, they know they're in the first team. If they had played someone else as captain in this game, a lot of the players that don't get a starting position week in, week out, they feel as if it's not a first team game. They're looking at the opposition and it's the levels could drop. So you keep the captain in to maintain those levels, maintain the status quo, and maintain the importance of the game. Even though it's Auchinleck Talbot and it's the Scottish Cup, if you take out the captain, do you take out the intensity? Do you take out how important the game is? Now, I know that big clubs down in England have done it before. Big clubs down in England have lost cup games over the years when they make wholesale changes. It would have been good if Celtic were in a position for, and the crazy statement that Celtic put out, there's all these academy players. It's just, it's ridiculous. I mean, we'll jump onto this out just to show you that I'm not making it up. Where is it? Let me just highlight. There we go. Michelangelo Balak makes his first appearance as returned to Celtic from the African Nations Cup, while Stephen Welsh also starts, having been recalled from Motherwell, one of 6 youth academy graduates starting in the starting 11. Come on, Celtic. How you're talking about a young boy that's in the squad, but fair enough, you can say, yeah, James Forrest was a graduate. Celtic have to come out and say like this because they have to be seen as trying to attract youth players. We are trying to attract youth players. We're going to have to go out and spend It's crazy that we're going to have to go out and spend $2 million on. Why is there not a closer working relationship with the Irish team that is partly owned by Dermot Desmond? Why are we having to go and bid over £2 million to try and get the player? Why is there not a pathway, for these players? Or is Dermot Desmond just now money laundering and thinking, I could be making a bit more cash off of Celtic here? And we'll wait and see. Shocking that we have no real understudy to Callum. What from Motherwell, maybe? I've been saying this for a long time. We're in trouble when Callum retires. We're in trouble next season. There's no one that is a natural leader at Celtic in the middle of the park. We've been lucky over the years. Do you know, when Callum was playing in that midfield with Scott Brown, etc., and he had some fantastic midfielders to learn from. Callum McGregor's now the most experienced, and let's face it, Callum McGregor's no Scott Brown. Do you know, he's no up there with, even with our little man from down under, who was fantastic. Right, 5-0. 5-0 today. We can't afford a striker from Talbot. Can we afford us? No, we can't. I don't think that we could. 11-0, says John. 11-0? Why didn't that redneck film why did that redneck film come to mind? What are you talking about? Kenny will score at least 3 today. We'll score 3 at least. Maybe he's Cuse Ers was with a banjo as a Billy Connolly quote. Well, there you go. A long time ago. I still want to know what you're thinking about hitting a Cuse Ers with a banjo for. Even if it was a Billy Connolly quote. I just think never mind. We move on. I bet you a lot of you, I bet a lot of you that right, here we have it, screenshot it. Chilpel said it. Paul Baird said it. There has to be something that Johnny Kenny doesn't score today. So Johnny Kenny, last time Ralston scored was April 2025 against Kelly. Was it? God. Well, there you go. It was that irrelevant, I can't even remember it. But there you go. Ralston scored in 2025. When was his last game against that? Was it that game? A lot of people talking about Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny, 5-1 for a hat trick today. Whoa, you got to stick a fiver on that, don't you? Welsh playing today. Does that mean that he goes back to Motherwell or sold to Aberdeen? I think that if Celtic are going to be playing the transfer game, they will entice Motherwell into a deal with Celtic plus a certain defender. If I was Martin O'Neill, that's what I would be doing. Only if Celtic can get in another striker in this window. Our youth setup is pointless. Yep, it is that. There's no chance of Johnny Kenny getting a hat trick. Getting Johnny, Connie Jenny. Maybe she'll play for the game. Maybe she'll come on in his place today. No excuses. We should hump this team. No, there's no excuses. Like I said, it is a team full of experienced players. It's a team full of players that have played at the highest level for Celtic. It's a team of players that ultimately know what it means to play for Celtic, and it is a team of players that have the experience to get it over the line. They've all been winners. They've all been winners. They've all won trophies at Celtic. There should be no excuse whatsoever for this team this afternoon. And for Celtic to come out and say, I say it again, for Celtic to come out and say, look at all the academy graduates in this team, whilst we've let go around about a dozen academy graduates in the last 12 months. Pity Motherwell's injured. Alistair Johnson can be captain, but he's not fit right now, is he? We're talking about right now, and I don't think Alistair Johnson being your captain's always been a midfield player at Celtic, or a central defender going back a long time. But I think that we don't have anyone at the club. Take away the captaincy side. I mean, any good player can be captain. But taken away from what we'll lose in the midfield when Callum McGregor leaves Celtic, there's no one that can come in and dictate the play. People will say that he doesn't dictate the play, but he motivates the team. He dictates where players goes, and he reads the game. Scott Brown did the same. Scott Brown pointed at players, but nobody called Scott Brown Mr. Pointy Pointy. Scott Brown would have stuck the nut on you. But it's maybe just because Calmac's a wee bit smaller that folk are like, it's just Calmac. Just Calmac. Pussy. Anyway, 4-0 for Broad. There we go. Why has Callum been crap since he got used to Rodgers' pass back crap? A lot of negativity. We need Jota back. It's not happening this season. Not happening this season whatsoever. Alistair Johnson will take over. Alistair Johnson will be a good captain. Yeah, but it's not just about the captaincy, is it? It's about the midfield. With no one in the midfield, we're just repeating ourselves here. No poll tonight? Nah, no poll tonight. We take a break from it now and then, because some people that watch the videos back say, fucking poll again, that's all that channel does. Fucking polls. Do we have any money in the bank? Yes, there is money in the bank. Jim, is Dermot Desmond run away with all the money? Yeah, and he's trying to get more money. He's trying to get more. Oh, Jesus. From Celtic with anyway, by signing a certain Irish player. And why we're having to get in a bidding war, we'll just go over this one again. Why we're having to get in a bidding war for a player from Shamrock Rovers when Celtic owner owns Shamrock Rovers. It's crazy. I don't know. And we shouldn't even be. We shouldn't. Shamrock Rovers shouldn't even be entertaining potentially selling players to anyone else. Dan, they shouldn't even be entertaining. If a young boy's coming through the system and he's good enough, Celtic should automatically be told. But then again, that's just the way that it's. Are you going to the pub, Baz? No, I'm doing a watch along. Doing a watch along, mate. I'm not going to the pub. I don't drink much these days. I'm back to my clean living and healthy eating again. Ish. Had the Chinese for lunch. Not seen Haney before. It'd be good to see him today. I think that'll be good. If he can get some game time. I can't see him on the B team. This is the only thing. Look at the teams. Is he on the academy team? No, the Finlay Haley. Unless they've spelt his name wrong. That'd be such a Celtic thing to do. He's not even in the B team. So I mean, he must be training with the first team because he's definitely not in the B team. So he must be training with the first team. Maybe Celtic have just bit the bullet and maybe Celtic have bit the bullet and just went, we need anyone that has got potential to break into the first team has to start training with the first team because we're losing far too many players. And rightly so, if they're good enough, get them in there, as they say. Let's hope we get a takeover. Fuck the board. Oh god, there's Haney. Yeah. Fuck the board. Yeah, fuck the board. Anyway, who do you want in the next round if Celtic do get through the game this afternoon? Tell me that, and then I am going to switch the telly on. Let me just do this. What's it on? It's on Premier Sports, isn't it? Baz doesn't go to the pub anymore. Can't handle it. Waiting rooms are more hysterical. Waiting rooms? Waiting rooms for what? You're a creep. It's a bit creepy. Waiting rooms? Alloa Athletic. Out of all the teams that are in the cup, who do you want in the next round? I'm going to give you a rundown of the teams. Scottish Cup 5th round. Who is all in the Scottish Cup 5th round. The teams that are in the Cup in the next round are Rangers, Dunfermline, Airdrieonians, Elgin City, Dundee United, Kelty Hearts, Dundee, St Mirren, Motherwell, Partick Thistle, Spartans, Stenishmuir, Stranraer or Queen's Park, Falkirk, because the Stranraer Queen's Park game was postponed. Falkirk, Aberdeen have made it through, and the last one before is going to be Auchinleck versus Talbot. I'd like to see Celtic play Spartans. Spartans away. Spartans. That'd be a good one. 5:15 on the TV. Perfect. 10 minutes shit. 10 minutes. Doctor's waiting room. Cheeky motherfuckers. Listen, you're on about stamina and stuff with brickies and builders. That's all I'm saying. The waiting room's pish went over my head. Confused.com. It totally went over my head as well. Totally went over my head. And anyway, I'll just move the desk up a bit so that we can sit back. There we go. Come on, Celtic tonight. Celtic Hearts, away to Celtic Hearts. That's a little Sev Clonian type team. Celtic Hearts. St Mirren for payback. Spartans are the only team in Edinburgh left. They are, aren't they? That's a good one. Spartans or Stenhousemuir. Stenhousemuir away. I always like good wee, good wee games like that. I remember going up to Arbroath and stuff for the cup. Elgin City. Now that's a drive and a half if you get Elgin City away from home. God, takes you. I mean, that's worse than going up to Inverness because you go Inverness and then you need to go away and land to get to Elgin. Elgin City. Maybe a chance we have as Spartans. Yeah. The Gers. The Gers. So on Premier Sports 1. That's me putting the telly on in 5 minutes. Earth calling. She's not listening. Oh. Anyway, Dunfermline at home. Oh, against Lenny. Oh, against Lenny. Stranraer Celtic sounds good. We've played Stranraer before. Stranraer in it? Stranraer's not in it. Stranraer's not even in the next round of the cup. But good luck with that one. Stranraer was in it before when Celtic. I'm not chewing a brick. Oh, you're on the okay. No, one better than 10-0 Man City. Lenny's team. Everyone's wanting Lenny's team. Arbroath, my favourite away game. That was a cracking one, wasn't it? If Kenny scores a hat trick, this mob will definitely be on the decline. I should sell him to 6 million for Leeds. I don't think we'll sell anybody to Leeds. I hope I'm in the wrong chat. Don't underestimate Auchinleck. But we should win on the plastic pitch. Might just give Celtic a fright. I think that the plastic pitch could be a leveller. Could be a leveller. I always put the channel on about half an hour before kick-off. It stops the freezing and buffering. Yeah, I'm just going to put it on just now. Premier Sports 1. Just because history. Just shut this down. Premier Sports 1 HD. There we go. It's some weird game that's getting played, but we'll just leave it on that just now. Make sure that the volume's right down. Next up, Scottish Cup football. Those guys with bandages on their heads and everything. Anyway, do Auchinleck have any good players worth monitoring? No, don't be silly. 5-1 for Brodgeball. It's not going to be Brodgeball this afternoon, hopefully. 4-0 Celtic. And where is he's on the bench, isn't he? Hate playing these wee teams. Shit pitches, dangerous. Well, it's not really a shit pitch. It's we've played on it before, so I think that it should be an easy game for Celtic. It's not going to be an easy game, but John the Truck Driving Legend says, let's have Dunfermline away. Pension of minds. I would make the bacon rolls. Rebs Fest. I'd have to do the show for John the Truck Driving. Oh, that would be a result and a half. I'd have to come all the way back to Fife and I could do the show from John the Truck Driving. I'd need Fozzie with me just to make sure I was okay. It's going back into the dark depths of Fife. Thank you for the £20 super chat, John the Truck Driving Legend. That would be fantastic. 793 people watching, says Paul, but there has been over 4,876 people on the live this afternoon. So a big shout out to everyone, 4,876 that has been on the live this afternoon. We're not finished yet. We're going to go on for another 5 minutes before the TV starts. I still think I still think that I'd love when you see all the away teams that Celtic have the potential to play. I wouldn't mind Spartans. Stenhousemuir could be a good trip. Elgin City, fantastic away day. But other than that, it's kind of all Central Belt stuff. And I'm just thinking about the bus conveners and all the guys that go to games, going to these far flung places like Elgin. I remember going to Elgin to do gigs back in the 1990s. Absolutely fantastic little town. Weird little town, but it was just a nice little town. But anyway, let's say about that the better. But yeah, I would like either Elgin City or Spartans or Stenhousemuir away. I like away games in the cup. These early rounds. What would you fancy a result tonight if Nancy was still in charge? I think we would probably hammer the team, to be honest. I think we would. I think we would hammer the team if Wilfred Nancy was still here, because I'm pretty sure that he would have had some players in by now. Might not have been great players, but who's that? It's gone. It's gone. We are sitting on 24,958 subscribers, just for those of you who want to know. So we're getting there. We're getting closer to the 25,000. I did say that we'd get to 25,000 before the end of the window. I was trying to get to 25,000 before Celtic sign a striker. I think that we still will. I can't see Celtic sign a striker next week. Danny Cassie sent a super chat also. £1 super chat from Danny Cassie. He doesn't say anything in the super chat, just sends a super chat. Right, let me jump through some more of these comments. 6-0 Celtic. I think it could be 6-0 Celtic. I'm going to say, I've not even done my prediction today. I'm going to go, I'm going to call them. Should we give them a goal? Yeah, I think they might get a goal. And I'm going to go 5-1. I'm going to go 5-1. Chuck Norris wears Fozzie's pitch. Chuck Chuck Norris wears Fozzie's pajamas to stay safe. That's the best one. I need to take a screenshot of that, honestly. Oh man. Let's just do that. And where's the thing? Where is it? Oh, there it's there. There we go. Pictures taken. Get your pictures there on the telly. The pressure is on. Junior team Ayrshire League. 10 goals to Celtic. Oh, I thought Kilmarnock were switching to grass pitches at rugby back. That's next season. Hope we do the business today. If we beat them, I'll come down from Inverness and join any protest take that if we don't beat them. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Baz still should make you the wrong word. Thank you for that. It's going to be 5 today, and bring back Greg Taylor. Bring back Greg Taylor. Would Greg Taylor be suited to this system? Paul Baird will be at the game. We need Yank to score and get them doing the young man song. They can't do the young man song. The AstroTurf. Right, that is the alarm bells going off. Have you seen Fozzie Valentine's card? Yes, I've seen the Fozzie Valentine's cards. Years ago, who played a couple of times, and Kinema Celtic played at Dunfermline. There we go. That was good old days, wasn't it, Chris? Oh, that was in Glenoffice, wasn't it? I can't remember. God, time of the night is it with you anyway? Got a wee feeling that McCown will have a cracking day. If anyone has a cracking day today, people are just going to say that the players The players should be playing at their best because it's not a team that should be feared by Celtic at all. Normal team, I would say 5 or 6. Tonight's side, I would say 3-0 or 3-1. I think this team should do it. Anyway, that is me done and dusted. I will be back in around about 8 minutes for the watch along. Make sure that you join me for that. If you're at home watching the game, make sure you join in the chat on the watch along. Thank you to the 5,197 5,200 that have watched the live this afternoon. Thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button, get us to 25k before Celtic sign a striker. Who will Celtic meet if they can win against Auchinleck Talbot this afternoon? Will it be Rangers, Dunfermline, Airdrieonians, Elgin City, Dundee United, Kelty Hearts, Dundee, St Mirren, Motherwell, Partick Thistle, Spartans, Stenhousemuir, Stranraer or Queen's Park, Falkirk, Aberdeen, so you are. Aberdeen, because they beat Raith Rovers this afternoon, or Auchinleck Talbot. Will they manage to beat Celtic? Let's hope not. Neil Lennon is on the telly. He is on the telly. It has started. I'll see you in a couple of minutes.